Greetings and welcome to all of our change makers. We've got today another fascinating interview with a change maker who is all about spreading love around the world. Welcome today, Johnny. Johnny Tan. Tell us a little bit about you and what makes you so amazing.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I'm really excited to be with you on this show, Cheyenne. But I don't know about whether me being amazing or not. I think the way I best phrase it would be we are ordinary people that do extraordinary things to
I
make a
like that.
difference in our world. Uh,
Yes,
and that way, everybody, all of us can walk side by side. That's a big
absolutely.
difference. Yes,
Well, I,
yes.
I believe everybody's amazing. I just like you to point out what are the amazing things you do.
Well, I didn't bring my scroll. I mean, I could like, okay.
Well, tell us what's going on in your world now. I know you've got some exciting happenings going on.
Yes, I'm very, very excited. My book, From My Mama's Kitchen, this is actually with the latest book cover. And it's got the Association of Mother Center that endorsed it, and the book Excellence Award that I received just recently within the last couple of months. This is actually the 15th anniversary of the book. And what started out was very, very interesting. Some 16 years ago, I decided to sit down and start writing a book to thank my 9 moms. Yes, I have nine
Wow.
moms.
Holy cow.
And yeah, yeah. Well, what can I say? I'm a problem child. It's like one say,
Oh.
I can't handle that anymore. Can you take over? uh, no,
Okay.
I've been very fortunate, to be honest with you. It's very, very interesting because I was adopted at birth in Malaysia by my
Mm.
Malaysian mom. Yeah, that's so mom number one. And 18 months, 18 years later, 4 months after my 18th birthday, I landed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana to go to college at
Wow.
LSU. And that's when I met my Southern Belle mom, whom I coined Southern Belle mom, who was my host family. And then that summer, I met my Italian foster mom up in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And then, so during my college years, I had three moms. And my dad, adopted dad, passed away in Malaysia a year after I got to college.
Mm.
And so that kind of changed the trajectory of my life, basically. And
Wow.
so I ended up living in the United States for about 15 years before I actually went home for a visit. And but
Mm.
prior to that, I would say about 8 years prior to that, my mom was able to visit me after 8 years that I was here in the United States, thankfully. My Malaysian mom, that is. And during my working years, I met my Texan earthly mom, my progressive spiritual mom, and I also met my sanguine Savannah mom. And I met that it's really funny because sanguine Savannah mom, I met her at a business meeting. She was actually fairly connected to the Rat Pack.
Oh my goodness. Rat Pack.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what
Love
I
that.
mean. So it's really funny.
Mhm.
And then during my leisure time, I've been very fortunate to meet my ballroom instructor mom, my Cajun mom, and my German mom. And collectively, all these ladies were my various cheerleaders at the various finish lines that I was at. And in between that, they were my teacher, my coaches, my counselor along the way. And so the book
Nice.
is about, in honor of them, being there for me. And it's actually to honor moms everywhere because we take it for granted. And the good
Mm.
thing about it is that my Malaysian mom had the opportunity to meet all of the other moms, and she was very appreciative the fact that all these ladies were there to sub for her.
How
And we as
cool.
kids, we don't think about that, right? So it was like,
Mhm.
really. And so it's a unique difference. So I learn all these things through connection and just paying attention. Coming
Right.
back to the home concept, this book is about the power of unconditional love.
Mhm.
Personal success begins at home, and
Yes.
living and performing within our genius zone. And what I meant by here is that we're all born with divine, unique fingerprints.
Yes.
We don't realize it. So there's no liability. Everything is an asset. It's how we
Mm,
apply it. That's the
mm.
difference. And
Yep.
so that's the exciting part of it, about the book. And it's about motherly wisdom, these things that they're everlasting. Ironically, people don't realize it, and even and especially today, we need it ever more than
Mhm.
ever.
Oh my, yes. Love over fear at this point, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Very, very interesting. I mean, and the beauty of it, though, what's interesting, because my various moms are from various backgrounds too, so in a
Mhm.
way, and then of course my Malaysian mom, I grew up, up to 18 years old, and so the uniqueness of it is that once you look at the overall picture, if there's one thing that all moms in the world share, is the common basic foundation that they want their kids to be the best as they can be, to be the most successful as they can be.
Yeah.
So that's the common denominator.
Mhm.
And people don't
Ab
realize that. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Now,
Wow.
having said that, I'm not saying that, respectfully, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm talking about. There's situational thing, and situations from families and whatnot. But the whole concept of personal success begins at home. Yes, the home within, where we live, but its home is within us right here.
Mm.
That makes
Yeah,
it. That's the ultimate thing where you cannot uh, not say take ownership.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Very interesting thing. Like what's the difference between a home and a house? Uh, well, y'all, a house is a building that you
Mm.
live in. A home is where you share relationship, connections, and everything
Yes,
else. Big
yes.
difference. Big difference.
Absolutely, and such
Yeah.
a great thought to just ponder at times, I'm sure. Well, another thing that I think I remember about your book, because as I was listening to you describe all the different moms in your life,
Yeah.
there's got to be somewhere a collection of recipes from these ladies, doesn't there?
Well, what's so funny about, it started out me wanting to collect food recipes. It started out
Mm,
where my Malaysian mom came and she was getting a little old, and it's like, okay, I better start saving all these food recipes. And then I thought about it. I said, well, maybe I'll do it for my sister and me. My sister actually was adopted in Malaysia as well. And so, from a different family, that is. And so it was interesting, I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. 3 months went by, and then, you know what? I like that recipe. I like that food recipe. So it's a guy thing, you see. So I called my other mom to say, hey, I'm putting together a recipe book for myself. Can you share some recipes? And they say, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Well, 7 years went by. I couldn't get it off the floor, just basically drag on and on and on. And then finally, and my Italian foster mom always calls me on New Year's Day to wish me Happy New Year. And finally, she called me up. She says, I'm in that particular year. And she says, hey, that was in 2007. She says, um, are you going to be writing this book anytime soon? I'm getting old. I mean, I want to be able to read the book before I die. I said, yes, ma'am.
talk about motivation.
Yeah, yeah, like, really? No, I said, yeah, market is right now. So right after market in April, I'll start sitting down and start writing. And I did. It's like a regimented thing. I sat down every night for 2 hours and start writing. And within 2 weeks, what happened, Sheehan, is that something from inside came about, like, hey, Johnny, this is not about food. This is about all the wisdom that I've learned, that the
Mhm.
guidance that I've gotten over the years. And so that became the beautiful recipes for living, the spices, the secret cupboard that I have on the side, like any great chef. They can pull out specific spices to spice things up for different dishes. And for me it will
Mhm.
be situationally, I can call my different moms because they all have different areas of expertise.
I love it.
So it's funny. I mean, if you think about it, all of us, like some things we don't talk to our mom. Are you
True.
crazy? I'm not going to mention that to mom. I go 2 blocks down the road right there and talk to Ann's mom. Something like that, you know.
My kids were good at that.
Yeah, like, are you crazy? We don't do that. And so I have all these various moms that came in, the right time and the right spots to guide me all along the way. But what's so interesting was I finished it in 9 months at the end of the year. And again, whether it's spiritual guided or not, I'm so glad I did it, because had I stuck with, as a guy thing, to collect food recipes, three of my moms would not have made it into the book, because I didn't really care for their food. Remember, I was collecting the best dishes, right? And so like, duh.
So the book ends up giving you spiritual food as well as actual food, right?
Precisely, precisely. So it's really, really funny, and so I'm so happy I did that, and then especially my progressive spiritual mom, she made it into the book in terms of recipes, because I put. She would go the extra mile to cook me. That's like say, and she's on that fringe. Remember, it's so funny because it's like she got in the book because for the dessert, pound cake with extra butter.
Ooh.
Because I love pound cake, the plain old simple pound cake, and she knew that, so I like the flavor of the butter, the richness, and of course, the more butter, the softer it is. It's so fun. She started laughing. She said, "Oh man, I made it to the to the food section."
Oh, that is
So,
so amazing. Well, and I understand you have a big event coming up related to this book. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So one of the things I did this year is that I finally created a 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization for From My Mama's Kitchen org. So if anyone wants to go check it out, it's From My Mama's, and Mama's is silent, MAMAS, kitchen.org. And so what I did was I put together things that I wanted to roll out called From My Mama's Kitchen Genius Zone educational platform community enrichment program. And
Ooh,
these are based on things that I've done, hidden, sort of sparingly all over the place, so to speak, because of my C-suite background and also my naturally engaging with the community and so forth. So within that, what I'm offering is to come into the various communities to present the From My Mama's Kitchen stage. And for me, will be conversations about life, love, and laughter about my 9 moms and how to live and perform in our genius zone. And I also have experts that I can bring in, depending on the situation, to speak about the different areas of opportunities that can help the community. And I want it to be engaging for the community to whereby, sometimes it needs somebody else from the outside to come in to
mhm.
bring people together to have that
Yes,
healthy kitchen table conversation so we
yes.
don't have a food fight.
Yeah, those are not good.
Yeah, yeah. If we do a barbecue, we might have a food fight, but in the house, it's a little bit different. Just kidding, just kidding. And so, but it's that wonderful thing. It's about having that wonderful conversations about life, love, and laughter that we don't realize that is
Mhm.
there, that we can connect. And as far as businesses and corporations and so forth, within because of my C-suite background and so forth, I was very successful as a young chief operating officer at 33. I manage an organization over 600 people strong, so my concept, and the reason why it's been very successful, because I lead people, I manage situation. A
Mm.
lot of people, oh yeah, I manage my team this way. People don't want to be managed. We
Oh.
lead people. Yes. So anyway, make a long story short, so I have corporate family genius zone, organizational excellence, leadership excellence, those kind of things that I can offer to the various chamber of commerces and other business organizations within that community as well.
Amazing. Yes. So, and you're really wanting to create kind of this live, love, laugh movement in localized areas, right?
Precisely, because personal success begins at home, Shan. And we talk about, like I said, there's always exception to the rules. Don't get me wrong, but overall, when it's all said and done, everything starts at home. If
Right.
you think about it, whether it's mom or dad or everything else, or ourselves, starts at home, the neighborhood, the community, the
Mm-hmm.
state, the county first, I guess, and then the state and whatnot, you see. And the most important thing, home is just not the place where we live, but home is right here.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so that makes a big difference. So it's
Mm-hmm.
how we nurture it, how we bring that up. Personal success begins at home. And
Yes.
through that is the main essence of it. And then not only that, people don't realize this, or people do realize it but take it for granted. They're two separate but equal forces that govern all of our decision making, personal or business. Trust me on this. Love or fear.
Mm. Yeah.
Love is always about the other person. How can I make your life better from a business perspective?
Mm.
And then I make certain adjustments, make the deal go through, because you know why? I want to put my that smiling face on my client.
Right.
Okay. Fear is all about me. I can do that. Yeah, there's no personal sacrifice. No, no, yeah, it's protecting, and that's what happened. And so, in today's world, we have so much fear mongering going on. Always blame it on every thing else. Just the other day, I saw on YouTube channel, the guy comes up and say, we've been lied to since we were kids about investment and all that. Really? Give me a break. I mean, why don't you say, things has evolved?
Yeah.
It's a proactive look. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Some
Nobody
people
got
can't
lied
hear
to.
that as well, though.
You'd be surprised. And you're right up to a certain point. And I tell you why. But people want to hear the truth.
Yes.
And especially in today's generation, they want to hear the truth. In my various keynote presentation as an experiential keynote speaker, it's funny. I tell them, I said, Google the Google to make sure you get to the very bottom of it. And of course, nowadays you have equally amount of fake news out there. So I said, this is what y'all need to do. Go ahead, open it up, take a look. Actually, I said, this is fantastic. Now you got the left side, you got the right side. You got to make the decision and what's right and
Yes.
what's wrong, right?
Yep.
And why? Because you have to own it.
Mm-hmm.
That decision is yours. You make what I call an informed decision. There's no
Yes.
more such thing as like, well, it wasn't my fault. I mean, for lack of better, from a spiritual standpoint, but it's funny. Oh, the devil made me do it. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I do something, God was right by my side. Do you realize that? Right there. But, so it wasn't me, I was brought up bad, and it's like, well, you know what? Let me give you a time frame from a few months to maybe about 12, regardless of where you grew up. Okay. I guarantee you, whatever, that's where 100% family, right? Mom and dad is God. Everything is right. When we hit puberty to about 18 or so, I don't know about that. Mama Shear, I don't think that's right. And then when it gets about 22 to about 30, she's wrong. Definite dead wrong. And then when it gets about 35, she's right. Okay. So depending on where you come and see me, if you're 17, 18, I understand, yeah, family, blah, blah, blah. But you come and see me at, like 45, uh, it's not my fault. I mean, like I said, the devil made me, really? Especially in today's world where you can Google the Google and the Google.
That's right. That's right. Keep drilling down, right?
Yeah. And it's not my fault. Really? uh,
Wow. Wow. Well, and I understand you've got some big publicity coming up for your book here real soon. How can people get a hold of your book if they're interested?
oh, fantastic! I will provide the link, and they can go
Mhm.
to Amazon and buy the book. But what's interesting about it, it's so exciting that because of this last award right here, actually, so total, this book has won 7 awards. Five in the first one, this 15th anniversary special edition won two, and the latest one is book excellence. And because of that award, it's so funny. And when I tell my friends, I said laughing out loud, they're gonna have my face on the big sign. But anyway, this book and my face will be featured this Saturday, August 15, at the giant billboard in Times Square in New York
Wow.
City. And so I'm so excited, and it's funny because respectfully, this is, people would think, oh yeah, I should, be. It's not, it's funny because when I wrote this book, it's about honoring my 9 moms,
Yeah. Yeah.
and respectfully, it's amazing that I'm able to honor them this way.
Absolutely. That is so
Uh,
cool, and
yeah, it's not about me,
congratulations on that.
it's not
Yeah.
about me, it's about, and honoring, to be honest with you, honoring moms everywhere, because
Mhm.
this is about conversations about life, love, and laughter. It's got nothing to do, these are timeless recipes for living,
Mhm.
life, motherly
Mhm.
wisdom, the power of unconditional love that we take for granted, that mom tells us over the years and it's passed through generations. And surprisingly, when it comes to food recipes, it's the same thing. If it's a really good recipes, guess what? It's custom tailored over the years based on our taste buds,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
And so the recipes for living life in this book, plenty of them, they are all, timeless.
Mhm.
And one of the most important thing, if I may share, is a wisdom recipe, so to speak, is something that, when I grew up, and I'm sure your parents did the same thing. My parents taught us about, authenticity, being honest and this, blah, blah, blah. But my Southern Belle mom phrased it the best way. Our authentic charm, Johnny, will always open the door. However, our authentic integrity character that keeps the door open.
Mm. Very wise woman right there.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. I mean, because authenticity is a big word. Hey,
It
I
is.
am as authentic as you can get. Really, okay, that's good. But do you have integrity?
Yeah.
And guess what?
That's
We need it right now.
We need it big time. No doubt
Yes.
about that.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, I am so happy that you've got this big day on Saturday. People can find out more about all these things you've got going at frommymamaskitchen.org. And you're going to provide us with a link where somebody wants to get your book from My Mama's
Yes.
Kitchen. We'll be able to help them to get that. And anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up? I know you've got some words of wisdom, but I think you might also have a gift for people too.
Yes, yes, I do. From my Mama's Kitchen platform, we do lots of things. We have plenty, beside the book. One of the interesting thing is that we have a magazine called Inspirations for Better Living.
Mm.
And that Inspirations for Better Living is designed to help moms build a better world for herself, her family, and loved ones. And respectfully, it's not necessarily just directly about how to raise Junior, but trust me, if mom is happy, you're going to have good food tonight.
Yes.
When she's not happy, you're gonna have a hot dog and hamburger for dinner tonight. And so, anyway, it's just funny. But the magazine is designed for that, and I have expert contributors to contribute to the magazine. And what I did was I created the magazine to have that warm, engaging home feeling like I'm talking about at all times. What you see, to be honest with you guys, this is what you get: real world, real situation. You don't have any problems with that. And so the magazine has various columns, all the way from kitchen table conversations, notes from the fridge, and from time to time, I have some financial experts that will share Mama's piggy bank. Trust me, y'all, Mom's got a side piggy bank somewhere that you don't know. And and even one of the columns is Nana's and Papa's wisdom. And
Ah,
so what happens is that they don't have to be necessarily be grandma and grandpa, but they've lived life and they have to be at least 65 years old to be able to because they have lived life. And I've been very fortunate. Some wonderful people that have contributed to that section have been like people that actually the father of cell phone, the inventor of the old brick Motorola, Martin
wow.
Cooper. He and his wife contributed to that column. Amy Newmark, the owner and publisher of Chicken Soup for the Soul, have contributed to that. And so these are just some a few people that just to kind of give people an idea the insightfulness that you can get from this. And so they have different sections, and we have things like we have columns for families with disability and individuals with disability. And these are expert, not because what I want to tell people is very, very important. It's like, hey, Shalene, uh, great question. I read that book, chapter 7, paragraph 3. This is the answer. No, they want real life, real situation, personal experience where they can connect and get rooted. So, having said that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give everyone the e-coupon code for free 1 year subscription to it. And so,
Nice.
y'all get a whole 3 year subscription for the whole year. And then, you know decide from there, but you will have, but the most important thing is entertaining, is knowledge, is wisdom, is that kitchen table conversation. We're here as a community, have a better understanding about all aspects of our lives. That's it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, we appreciate your willingness to gift everybody a subscription to your digital magazine. And I got a chance to take a look at it just a little bit the other day, and oh my goodness, it does. I think the words I used were everything you write just oozes with warmth, and that's where the love energy is at, and that's what we need more of on the planet. So thank you so much for the efforts that you're putting out here to conquer fear with love. That's really what we all need to be doing, right?
Yes, no doubt about it. I think, like I say again, when it's all said and done, whether you're in the corporate world, professional or personal life, two separate equal forces govern all of our decision making, love or fear. And the funny thing about it, as I want people to understand, some of the most successful people are the most insecure people. The funny thing about it, insecurity help us to step up the ladder. Not
It's
everyone, but I'm just giving you an example because, like, oh no, no, they're coming too close. Now I got to get up there.
it's
The
a
old saying
driving
goes,
force.
yeah, y'all have heard this, how they call it, the richness and happiness are together. Not necessary.
That's true.
That's right. You rich, you can rent happiness, but
Mm.
you can't buy it.
You can't buy it. Money don't buy me love.
There you go. There you go. That's the difference.
There you have it. Well, you've already given us so much wisdom here today, but would you like to share just a final words of wisdom here, and we'll let everybody go?
Fantastic. And this is something very, very interesting. One from one of my moms. Wisdom is knowing about others.
Mm.
Enlightenment is about knowing ourselves.
Ah.
And that's the most important thing. That's my Texan earthly mom, D. Jones, the late D. Jones, because we don't realize it. But wisdom, oh, you're so wise and all. Yeah, because you pay attention, you listen to learn rather than listening in anticipation to reply. That's a big
Mhm.
difference. It's like, oh yeah, that's what you were saying. I mean, there's a certain point, in everything that we do. But when you listen to learn, every time you learn something new.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
And then
thank you
that's what it's
so
all
much.
about.
Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for sharing so much good, warm, feeling vibes with everybody out here. And please, everybody, do check out his book if you feel inspired to do that. And let's keep an eye out, because I know this guy's going to be all over the country creating these live, love, and laughter kind of events. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to help him do some of those as well. So thank you all for watching, for listening, and we'll see you all in the next interview. Until then, have a fabulous day.
Thank you. God bless.